Hey guys, you must have found me by following links or some other way back to where we're still available for this kind of thing. And people had asked me, as I mentioned on some of the other videos, that asked me to do a video on aging or maybe a series if there's enough interest. So I thought, okay, if you want to do that, we'll do it. And see, I don't want to make this long. I'm going to do it in some little short chunks, so I won't get anybody bored or interrupt your schedule or anything. What I guess I want to tell you first is that you want to remember that what people call normal is a lot of times not normal. It's just common. It's what's going on around us, and you go to one of the major stores and walk around through it and look. Go to Walmart or Costco or any of these stores that lots of people go into, and look around and do you notice anything unusual? You know, the condition of the people in there, it's really unfortunate. It's not normal. It's not normal. And what we consider normal aging is completely abnormal, unnecessary, reversible, fixable. And what I'm interested in is finding out to what degree, and also what's normal. What are we designed for? Trying to say, I got some glare in my eyes. I'm trying to stay out of it. That's why I'm moving around. So I started working on that in 1965 as an independent health scientist, and I started out because I was really very sick and had a lot of serious health problems, which is the motivation that a lot of health teachers that we like and people that we talk to on our Sunday show sometimes, a lot of them got started because they were in really bad shape and they were going with the allopathic medical route and they were getting worse. That's what was happening to me. And I realized, my body's going to die following this cutting-edge science. So what should I do? And I dumped the whole thing in the mid-60s and said, I've got to get away from this. And I didn't. It took me years to get away from it, really, because I actually didn't know what the possibilities were. And it took me a long time to figure that out. Anyway, so I found out a lot of things about health and disease and degeneration and aging and immunity and that sort of thing, and I figured, I've started to get into it now. It's been how many years has it been since 65? It's 75, 85, 95, 05, 15. It's been 54 years, so I've started to get the hang of what I'm learning from it, and it's pretty interesting stuff. And it turns out, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. That's why I still look kind of old and wiped out a little bit compared to what I should have been able to do. But it's getting better, and my energy's going up, and other things are signs of age reversal that you can do too. It's not that hard. It's just, what I did find out is that you have to change your conscious perspective. You have to change your consciousness in order to use the physical protocols that lead to reversal of aging and getting your energy back, and not falling for what's supposed to be normal, which isn't normal. So I'm really pushing that further now, and hopefully I'll figure out a lot more in the next few decades or so, and after that, if I don't have to leave. I mean, what I found out, by the way, that's kind of interesting, is that you don't have to die, so-called die in quotes, from your body falling apart. That also is not normal, because the body's self-healing. So why would it degenerate and fall apart if it's self-healing? Unless you're doing something that's blocking the self-healing, right? I'm not talking about healing that a doctor does, because here's a secret: no doctor can heal anything. They can, if they're smart, they can teach you things that you can change in what you're doing every day that will allow the natural healing current, the life force in your body, to do its job. But the doctor can't make, even if you have a small cut on your hand or something, the doctor can't heal it. They can only tell you something that would be helpful for the body to be able to heal it easier or not. But mostly we're being taught all the wrong stuff. If you take toxic chemicals and eat them, which is not really that brilliant of a thing to do. Oh yeah, it's called medicine, I forgot to mention. Unless it's called weed killer or insecticide, or if they're using it for other things. But the ones that you take are called medicine. It's amazing, because, you know, many great doctors like Hippocrates a long time ago, and other ones we haven't heard of, said, you know, if you're a healing person or a medical person or something, don't hurt anybody. At least, if you're not going to help them heal, at least don't hurt them. That's been totally abandoned in modern medicine, in academia. Academia, you know, like in school where they teach you what's good for you and what's not. They're teaching you all kinds of misinformation. And most of them aren't doing that intentionally. They believe it's true because they're so well educated that they think what's false is true. They haven't learned that. They've memorized it year after year after year after year, like cult training. And at this point, most of them don't notice, wait a minute, that's totally ridiculous. Look at the result. And they say, no, that's cutting edge science. The result is bad because more people don't do it. And we've got to force them because we're trying to do the best for the world. So we have to force poisonous, harmful treatments on more people so that they'll all be healthy and happy. Right, now, the only people that would ever believe that kind of junk is highly educated people. And I took the chance of becoming one of them, trying to hold on to common sense, which is really hard when you're going through this stuff through PhD level, and they don't want you to come out with any common sense, I guarantee that. But they don't know that's what they're doing. Because the same thing happened to them. So at the very top levels, they know. Even if a couple levels below that, they know. And they think it's humorous. And it's part of the bigger agenda that we can talk about later if you want to. But right now I'm just telling you, aging is malleable, it's changeable, it's flexible, it's reversible. There's things you can do so that you don't end up, and sorry I'm a little disheveled right now. I like to come here because it's away from civilization, so-called civilization, and people, and I can go in the river. I just really like that. That's my favorite way to bathe, you know. It's not quite deep enough to actually swim here, but it's really neat, and it clears my mind, it helps me clear my mind. I can do it in the midst of all the civilized stuff, but this is easier. So that's why I look a little odd. But I just want to let you know, if you're suffering from aging, I can't tell you what to do. You have to follow your own chosen doctor and everything, okay? So this is none of this is to tell you what to do, but it's just to share some experience with you that what I found, and maybe you would find too, is that aging or reversal of aging is entirely in your hands, and that your only real barriers are what you believe you cannot do. I mean, if you get that one concept, then the time you spend looking at this video is really worth it, because you can take that and run with it. Now, it doesn't mean to become stupid and, you know, if all your friends jump off a cliff, are you going to jump off a cliff? No, don't jump off a cliff. That's not brilliant. But other things that are actually good things that everybody says you cannot do, that's not true. So you have to start where you are, and then you learn natural things that we do or don't do every day that would help you to remove the blocks of this life current that's been automatically keeping you healthy and healing and energized your whole life and before. It stays with you. But if we do dumb things to block it, then we get bad results. You know, it's not as complex as you're being told. The mechanism of it is complex. It's incredibly detailed, and it's almost infinite number of levels involved, and there's no way that your mind can ever figure that out. So that's not the approach. Fortunately, we don't need to do that. We just need to tune into what is in harmony with life and what's not in harmony with life. And things like what you eat, your sleeping habits, what you drink and breathe, your exercise routines, which have very specific requirements to help you and can be adapted to any ability level whatsoever. What else? What you're thinking and feeling all day, that affects every cell in your body. What you think about other people, you know, if you're sending somebody condemnation and hatred and, you know, jealousy and anger and all this junk, as it goes out toward them, it builds up in you. Absolutely simultaneous. So I'm just suggesting you might want to stop hurting yourself that way. And I'm not talking about whether it's justified. That's totally irrelevant biologically. If you send out any kind of negative intent toward anybody, I don't care if they're the worst mass murderer in the history, you're doing that to yourself. There's another one. If you get that, you've got tools that you can use and follow up with. So it's a combination of physical and non-physical changes that you make that are reflected in how, whether your body repairs as fast as it's breaking down. You know, what they call aging, the abnormal kind that everybody's doing, is when the repair doesn't keep up with the breakdown. That's all. So just change that. Because the reason that's happening is because of what you're doing. Learn about it. I'm going to talk more about it in some other videos if you guys want to know. And I wish I could talk to you like, you know, say, yeah, I'm 200 years old and this is what you do, and everybody'd say, oh wow, he's 200 years old, we have to do that. I have to wait 130 years for that, and I'm not sure if the life on this planet's going to still be here. That depends on some things too. But you know what, even that problem, the thing about the extinction of life on Earth, which is what the absolute top level global rulers are planning, is to wipe out life on this planet. That's the bottom line. If you want to know in 10 seconds what the plan is, that's the plan. But it doesn't mean that they'll succeed at it. And there's a person that is a pivotal character in deciding whether they succeed. You'll never guess who it is unless you've done the PHC meetings before. But I'll tell you, it's something I can say on a public platform, and you probably won't believe me anyway. But the most pivotal person in your world to actually make positive, massive changes in it is you. And you're not as helpless and weak and small and temporary and all that as you're supposed to believe. It's totally not true. It's not true at all. The massive life force that's flowing through you that you can direct to help and heal other people, even whole ecosystems, and things that sound completely impossible. They're possible. The question is, will we tune into them in time? And that's up to you. So I'll continue to make little pieces for the public video, but if you want to start really doing some work on the inside of yourself, which is what controls everything else in your life. And I'm not overstating that. Either start doing that today, really inventory your habits in your life, and start upgrading it now, which you've got everything you need inside yourself to do that. Or if you want to be with other people doing the same thing, and with me, I'll be there too in person every week. Check out planetaryhealingclub.com, planetaryhealingclub.com, and you can try that out. And I'm going to make that as valuable and relevant and helpful and, stuff like that as I possibly can. And remember too, if we disappear on the public channels, which is not impossible, we'll be on brighteon.com, on our channel there, and on lostartsradio.com. And if you get in the mood to come join us and go much deeper into this on Planetary Healing Club, I would enjoy getting to meet you over there. It's interactive and live every week. But regardless of whether you get into that, I'll make more pieces of this if you guys are interested on the public videos, and we'll see where it takes us. Should be exciting. So, I'll talk to you soon.